Hello heroes, Kolz here. Today I'll be walking you through one of the most important events in Heroes vs Hordes, the Arena. This guide will help you clear all 20 stages of the Arena to earn valuable super tokens and weapon tokens to upgrade weapons in the Forge. These upgrades significantly impact your damage, making the Arena one of the most critical events in the game. But be aware, it's a grind to get to the point in the game when you can fully clear all the stages of the Arena. To make the grind easier, I broke the Arena down into 5 key parts. The first part is simply how the Arena works. Number 2, your optimal gear. Number 3, a secret mechanic to get priority weapons during your run. Number 4, the best heroes. And number 5, a general strategy for how to beat the Arena, including kiting tips and the infamous Blademaster Cheese. So buckle up and get ready, we're about to forge ahead through the Arena. Arena is a weekly event in Heroes vs Hordes where you attempt to beat 1500 Horde in an enclosed space within a 3-minute time period. The game mode unlocks after you've cleared chapter 31 in normal mode. Arena is meant to be mid to end game content, so don't worry if you have trouble clearing stages until you're in like full legendary gear, which is about mid game, or full ascended gear, which is end game. Your goal is simply to clear as many stages as you can each week. There are 20 stages in the Arena that will increase in difficulty as you progress. The difficulty increases dramatically after stage 15 and through stage 20. You'll win weapon forge tokens for each stage of the Arena that you're able to clear. Stages 5, 10, 15, and 20 offer you super tokens, which can be used to forge any weapon of your choice. The other stages provide tokens for the weapon of the week. In a full weekly clear, you'll earn 1,000 super tokens and 3,500 of the specific weapon forge tokens. Use these tokens to upgrade both general weapons and weapons specific to heroes in, get this, the Forge. Every week, the Arena alternates between 2 types of tokens, basic weapon tokens and hero weapon tokens. Currently, special weapon tokens like Smoke Bomb aren't offered in the Arena. Now that you know what's at stake, let's suit up for success. Here's the gear you're going to need to survive in the Arena. Unlike in normal mode, Arena has some specific mechanics that make optimizing your gear a little bit different. Every time you get a weapon or a tome in Arena, it gets its full max level. For example, you start a run with your primary weapon already at level 5. Therefore, +1 to starting upgrades offer a huge advantage in the Arena. Each starting upgrade is essentially worth like 5 levels in normal mode if you get a weapon, and 3 levels if you get a tome. So choosing gear with +1 starting upgrades can make a big difference and help you progress further in the Arena. The Wizard Chest and the Noble Helm are 2 examples of gear that offer +1 starting upgrades. The Ascended Wizard Necklace offers +2 starting upgrades for more advanced players. With that in mind, typical legendary gear for someone in mid-game would be the Noble Helm, the Wizard Cloak, Ranger Boots, and then Rogue, Gloves, Necklace, and Ring. To quickly go over jewels, they're very straightforward in Arena. You're just going to want to maximize your DPS. So you're looking at ultimate jewels as the most important, followed by vulnerability, and then cooldown until you hit 60%, followed by AoE, right? Pretty straightforward. Now on to weapon priority, and the one secret mechanic that you might not know about on how to get the priority weapons you need to clear Arena. Because the Horde come from 4 directions in a relatively enclosed space, you want to maximize your disruption with your weapons. That means you're going to go fishing for Ice Wand and evolve Boomerang throughout those first set of starting upgrades, before moving on to something like Bombs, Fire Orbs, and +1 more damage item. Very rarely will you ever get to a full build in Arena. In my opinion, for most heroes, the single most important thing you can do is evolve Boomerangs. The combination of the Boomerang slow plus the increased movement speed gives you the optimal chance to kite Horde throughout the stage. And here's my most important pro tip that goes back to the starting upgrades we discussed in the weapons section. I'm going to zoom in on my face to emphasize the importance here. Or maybe I'll even turn to the B-roll. You can manipulate the starting upgrades to maximize your chances of getting the priority weapons. As long as you quit the stage within the first 10 seconds of the timer in the top right, except for in events like Hero Clash, you get the resources back. In this case, you'll get 20 energy back if you cancel the run within the first 10 seconds. That means if you don't get the priority weapons you need, you can quit the stage, come right back in, and then here's the thing. You need to reshuffle early on in your weapon choices. Reshuffling like that will change the options that the game shows you in subsequent rolls. Didn't get a boomerang? Quit and reshuffle for another chance. You can do this any number of times, but it only changes as you subsequently reshuffle. That about does it for how to optimize your weapons. So now on to my favorite part, the best heroes. And going with the theme of basically every other part of this guide, the best heroes are the ranged heroes that have some kind of disruption and do massive amounts of damage. The one S+ tier hero that meets all of those descriptors is the Clockwork Mage. Her innate slows guarantee you'll be able to kite the Horde. Other burst damage type champions like the Artificer, Assassin, and Bunny can also progress further than typical heroes in the arena. Upgrading their weapons in the Forge, ironically with Forge tokens you earn in the arena, can make those heroes even stronger. If you don't want to play a ranged style hero, you can consider the Knight or Monk. They both require 4 stars weapons in order to fully clear the arena, but once they hit their 4 stars, they can clear it with ease. But my favorite arena hero that can clear the arena with ease and everybody has access to is no other than the Blademaster. The Blademaster offers 2 advantages. Number 1 is that his ultimate procs off of critical strike, and number 2, he's invincible during his ultimate. You can use that to your advantage by getting the Evolved Boomerang to start, proccing his ultimate off of the enemies because they're slowed, and then kiting them from corner to corner between your ultimates. You should literally be counting out loud when your ultimate's about to end. 3, 2, 1, kite! Or at least I do that when I'm in my basement playing by myself. And just to be clear, you might need to practice this kiting technique a bit. It seems pretty simple, but the Blademaster Cheese is an acquired taste. He can clear the arena in full or even like partial legendary gear before any other hero can, but there is one curveball I'll tell you about in a minute. But before that, let me just get back to the general kiting strategy. Kiting is going to be vitally important in later stages of the arena. Stages 15 plus in the arena start with elites that are super tanky and that you're going to need to kite around the map. The general kiting pattern is pretty simple. There's not a lot of room to move in the arena, and so your goal is to just get to a corner while doing the most DPS possible. However, the elites in stages 19 and 20 are really beefy, and you're not going to have a lot of time to get to a corner. If this is the case and you don't have access to the Blademaster, you can try and find a very high DPS hero like Bunny or the Artificer. Do as much damage as you can while you run to the corner, and then actually let the Horde get to you. Once you revive, you'll have 1 or 2 seconds of revive rage, and that can be enough to defeat the elites. This is a relatively risky strategy, and it might require you to use 60 gems for a second revive to kind of repeat the process. However, in later stages of arena, it's definitely worth 60 gems in order to clear it if you're having trouble doing it otherwise. And before you think maybe this wasn't so bad, there is one more aspect of the arena I haven't talked about yet, and that is the blessings and curses. Blessings are kind of ignorable, they make you stronger and you don't have to worry about them. It's the curses that are the problem. In particular, there's one curse that rots the Blademaster Cheese, and that's negative 100% to critical strike. The Blademaster needs the critical strike to ultimate. With negative 100% critical strike, he can't ultimate, and instead of spinning to win, you're a spinning duck. You'll have to clear any stage with negative 100% critical strike with some other hero, and typically you want to remove all your rogue gear and put on ranger gear. Rogue gear is based around critical strike, and ranger gear is more based around projectiles and cooldown. There are several other curses that can make life miserable in the arena, including ones that reduce your damage or reduce pickup area. And that's it. And that's my brain dump about arena. It's time for you to gear up, fish for some boomerangs, cheese with the Blademaster, and kite like your life depends on it, because it does. And I'm Kolz, a high-level HVH player. Please subscribe and like this content if you do. I'm happy to answer any questions you have here, on Discord, or on Reddit. And remember, always do your adventures!